Hi, crafties, and welcome to Weekend Crafting Adventures. I'm Kim. And if you have come back to listen to another episode, I thank you. And if you are just tuning in for the first time, welcome. Um, Today, I really want to share with you how I have used my Cricut Maker to bring my sewing products and my craft fair display to the next level. And what I mean by that is I am a huge sewer. It actually is my first and foremost crafting passion that kind of got me started into this whole crafting world. And I've done it a lot longer than I've had my Cricut Maker. But I did want to share with you how my Cricut has changed what I do when I am selling my products, my sewing products, and when I am at a craft fair and I am displaying my sewing products. And so whether you use your Cricut to, make things that you sell, or whether you just use it for personal use, but you love giving personalized gifts, I think that this might be interesting to you because using my Cricut Maker to create different personalized tags, not only for the items that I sell, but also for the display itself that I use in my craft fairs, has completely leveled up my display booth. And I want to say actually even increased my sales of the sewing products that I sell. So it is craft fair season, holiday craft fair season around here. And for the last couple of weeks, in fact, all year long, I sew. I sew because I love it. I love creating beautiful things with beautiful fabric and giving them to family and friends. And I actually created a small little one-person side business aside from my teaching that I do. And I really only do a couple of craft fairs a year. And the craft fair that I just finished yesterday was the Cheyenne Mountain High School Craft Fair in Colorado Springs. This is an amazing craft fair. Everything in the craft fair is handmade. And so this is one that I have been a part of for 3 years. So I've had my Cricut for the last 2 years that I have done craft fairs. And I wanted to share a couple of insights that I wasn't sure about, but now that it's year 2 using my Cricut to help me create my tags that I attach to my sewing products and that I have that help display the different products that I am selling, I've really started to put a few things together. Obviously, this is my own personal opinion. This is not science. This is not measured. But I am going to tell you that since I have used my Cricut Maker to help me create fun, personalized, unique tags and display items that go with my products, my sales have increased significantly. I started out in craft fairs just putting my items out in my booth on the table as best as I could. I'm good at sewing. I am great at, figuring out things that I want to sew that possibly are unique and different that I sell to people. But what I wasn't great at was the display booth. A lot of times it was super overcluttered. I did never have the prices of everything easily located. I would have a price list, but I never really had prices attached to all the items. I didn't have names of the items, and my sales were fine. And my craft fairs went well, and it definitely was something that I enjoyed. But once I got my Cricut Maker and I started making tags to put on the products that I was selling that included the name of the item, sometimes maybe a description of what it was for, and a price, things started changing for me. And I first noticed it last year because last craft season was the first time I'd actually created all of these tags and display items to go with my products. And I thought, well, maybe it is just that this is the year after COVID and everybody's super excited to be out at craft fairs shopping again. And that was the reason for the drastic increase in the amount that I sold. And so, I thought about that, but I didn't put too much into the packaging of my products that I now have changed with the Cricut, or how the tags may have done that. So I've just completed my latest craft fair. And again, not coming off of a COVID year. I mean, I know it's still around, but very different than when we were shut down through that holiday season 2 years ago. I have noticed a drastic increase in the sales. And I really am going to put some of that increase on how I have changed my display and the way that I am packaging my products and putting information out there to the consumer, to the customer, in a way that is my personality, bringing a little bit of that in, bringing important information in, and having it right there for them to see when they walk into my craft booth and look at my products. So I want to share with you exactly what I've done to make those changes and how I've used my Cricut in my crafting, sewing little business to kind of help that business grow, in hopes that if you have a small business, or if you have not thought about possibly incorporating your Cricut into those little pieces of tags and packaging and display, that maybe you think about how that could be part of what you're doing and how you're presenting your products or displaying them, or what comes with them when you sell them and send them to your customers. Because for me, it really has made a huge difference. And anytime there's something like that that comes up, I definitely want to share it with you, because I know small business is hard. People that are like me, that are teachers and have a side business going on, that's hard. And you have limited time to make big impact with that side business. And so any little bits of advice or tips that I can share with you that have helped me, I'm going to do that. So first of all that I did to create these tags is take some cardstock, and I use a neutral color, my Cricut fine point pens, sticker paper. Those are really the three things that I have incorporated into my my sewing display, packaging, and business that have made a huge difference. But I think what the key is to what I've done is I've created these tags that go on every single product that I have in my booth. So for instance, I sew totes, bags, zipper pouches, lots of accessories, lots of things that small accessories like key fobs that you wear around your wrist that you keep your keys on. I sell cup cozies in the holiday season that you put on your to-go coffee cups so that you are not using those cardboard ones that come with your coffee when you get them, things like that. And I took the cardstock and I took the fine point pens and I started creating these tags. A lot of them are simple shapes, rectangles, circles, but a lot of them also are shapes that I find in Cricut Design Space that represent the product that I'm making. For instance, I sew recycled sails, like the sail, the spinnaker. I will make tote bags out of those sails, and the tag that I put on those sail bags is the outline of a sailboat. And within that tag, I then can create a personalized little description of the product. So on that sailboat tag that goes onto my tote bags that are made from recycled sails, I put recycled sail. And then I have a little description, something like, I am not perfect. I am a recycled sail. Please enjoy all of my imperfections. And then I also have on the back of that tag the price. And that is the style that works for me. Most of my tags have a cute little saying, whether it's tote it or carry it or zip it, depending on if it's a tote or a purse or a zipper pouch. I just have a cute little kind of like a hook phrase to put it out there as to what the product is. And then I always include the price. And the reason I do that is I've learned over the time that I've done craft fairs, there's a lot of different ideas and ways that you can present your items. And some people like putting their prices on and some people don't. I have decided that having my prices out there up front for the people that walk into my booth or walk into the craft fair, for them to see is super important. There doesn't need to be a conversation that happens with me. People shop in lots of different ways. And if you are somebody that does craft fairs, you will understand some people come in to your booth and they want to have a conversation with you. They're very interested in how you make what you make and what you do and where your inspiration comes from. And some people just want to walk in, look at your items. They don't want to have a conversation, but they want to have all of the information about your product presented to them so that they know exactly what they're getting, how much it is, and what to expect. So my thought was, no matter whether the person walking in wants to have a conversation with me or not, everybody that walks in is going to have all of the information they need on my products to not only know what it is, what it does, but how much it is. And then for certain products, of course, I'm always adding in a little bit of flair that describes the product in a fun way. Or for instance, with my cup cozies that I was talking about that you slide onto those cups that you get when you get your to-go coffee, fun little sayings about coffee. You know, that I have some cute little sayings that I've put on these cozies and the cozy tags, excuse me. So when people buy those, which by the way, this year, everybody wanted cup cozies and I actually sold out of them. So that was really fun to see that was a big trend. But they can actually take that cozy with the card, the display card that I've put inside of the cozy, wrap that up and give it as a gift itself. It is a quick and simple way for the customer to know exactly what the product does, but also they don't have to rewrap or repackage that cup cozy with the cute fonts from Cricut Design Space, with the cute sayings that I've put on it. All they have to do is really either put it in a little gift bag or a little wrap on top of it, and it's ready to go as a fun little gift. So those are the things that I am doing in my booth and with my products that have made a huge difference in the sales that I'm making as I'm selling my products at these craft fairs. Aside from creating these little tags that go on every single product, display cards that have fun sayings on them that go with my products, I want to tell you the other thing that I did. My sewing is quite bright. I love bright colors. I love a lot of different patterns. I love a lot of different products. So when you look at my booth, it is bright, lots of different colors, lots of different products. That can be a little overwhelming to people at times. So the thing that I did with my display through using my Cricut was to choose a common color of cardstock. I chose a neutral cream color, and I chose, for the most part, a black pen font. So even though the colors of my sewing products may be very different as you look around the booth, the common thread that runs through my display are these cream color cardstock display cards and tags that are on all of my items. So that kind of brings a consistency into the booth. They know exactly what to look for when they're looking at all of my different items and all of the different things that I'm selling. That cream colored cardstock with the black marker or fine point pen and the different fonts that go with it, it gives that nice look that brings everything all together. And the other thing that I do is I use my Cricut Maker and sticker paper to make the stickers that I put on the brown paper bags that I have, that I give out when people need a bag and they're buying something. I put in the key fob, I put in the cup cozy, I put in the zipper pouches, and they walk away with this bag that has my name and a cute little picture of a sewing machine. And I did that and created that on my Cricut Maker as well. I know a lot of people probably buy their display tags and stickers and things like that in bulk, and I get that. But for my small business, for me, one of the things that I love about using the Cricut for creating these tags and custom display cards in my booth is that a lot of times I will be sitting sewing or thinking about how I want to display one of my products, and I'll get an idea. And maybe it's 2 days before the craft fair. Well, I have the ability with my Cricut to get on Cricut Design Space, use my Cricut to completely change a tag that is on one of my products, a saying that I've put on one of my products. Maybe I've come across something really funny or cute that I want to include. This gives me the last minute ability to change out what is said on any one of my display cards, any one of my tags that I am putting on to my items. And that is invaluable, because if I was ordering it from somewhere, I can't make that last minute change right before I'm selling my products or I'm sending it to someone or I'm at the craft fair. So that to me has been such a huge, huge piece of why I love making my tags and my display cards myself with my Cricut Maker. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is that a lot of my tags being different shapes and different ways that I display things, I always use the little circular shape. So when you're on Cricut Design Space, on the side on the left, you can pick out a different shape. I choose the circle shape, but you could choose any one of those shapes to be whatever you want Cricut to cut into your tag. So on all of my tags, I have a tiny little circle that Cricut automatically cuts out for me, and I determine the size of that cut circle depending on what I'm going to use to attach that tag to my product. Again, for example, with my sailing bags, the sailcloth, the bags that I make from the recycled sails, I wanted to use a really cute white kind of braided rope to attach my tags to those totes. So obviously that's going to need a bigger hole than some of my little zipper pouches, which I just put through a little 1/8 inch black ribbon to attach that to the zipper pouch. So again, using that individualization and customization of those little cutouts that I use to attach all of those tags to my products is huge. I get to decide how big I want it, and that gives me the ability to really change how I'm attaching things to my products. And just having that little braided white, kind of looks like sailor's rope to attach the sailboat tag to my sail bags, it looks adorable. It gives the feel of a very unique and custom item, which it is in itself, but that tag and that presentation is all what I'm looking for to bring that product and that booth and my sewing items to the next level. So whether you're somebody that is just starting out with your Cricut or uses your Cricut for a small business or even just personal use in gifting people different things, try out making some really fun, personalized gift tags, some different, if you do craft fairs, I'd love to hear how you use your Cricut to enhance your display. What have you done, or are you trying it for the first time? I really have experienced a change in the response to my products and my displays based on the way that I have used my Cricut with cardstock, with the fine point pens, different fonts, different sayings, the sticker paper for the bags. All of these things have really enhanced and leveled up my craft fair experience and business. So I know that when people walk in, there's a consistency. They know what to expect. There's no guessing about what the product is, how much it is. Maybe even the fun little saying brings a little bit of a smile to their face. And most of all, once again, what I love about my Cricut is how you create these one-of-a-kind, personalized, custom items that nobody else has, that makes your product, your gift, the thing that you're making one of a kind. So take advantage of that this holiday season. And when you're using your Cricut, make those items stand out even a little bit more with the tags that you put on them, whether it's a gift or whether you're selling something, and see if it makes a difference for you. I'd be interested in hearing if it does. So my crafting keepers for this episode, my crafting keepers, the first one is going to be how I can use Cricut Design Space and Cricut to cut out that tiny little hole that goes in every single tag that I'm attaching to my products, whether I want it to be a square, a circle, an oval, or a different shape to kind of match that tag. And I get to determine how big that is. That's really important to me as a small business person, to be able to have complete control over what that tag looks like, how big that little cutout is, and how it looks on the tag that I am attaching to my product that I've made. Let's see, my other Cricut crafting keeper for this episode is going to be the ability to last minute, night before, either I'm giving somebody something that I've made or it's right before a craft show, and I have a fun idea that I want to incorporate into my display or one of my tags or one of the cards that explains something in my booth. I can go and change that. I don't have to worry that, you know what, now I have to wait until I make another order for this tag or this sticker. I actually can hop right onto my Cricut Design Space and create that saying or that specific display card or tag in that moment and have Cricut cut it and write on it. And there it is for me to put to use immediately. There's really not a lot of wait time. So having that flexibility as somebody that doesn't have a lot of time and wants to be able to have complete, control and flexibility and creativity in those tags and display cards, this tool works for me. So that is a crafting keeper for sure. My satisfaction rating for this episode is a 5. Having the Cricut and bringing it into how I display my products, what my booth looks like, how my products are tagged with the little price tags and descriptions. That has been a game changer for my little sewing business that I have on the side. So I just have loved being able to create different kinds of tags that go onto the different products that I sell that are unique to my little sewing business that I have. So I will definitely be incorporating pictures of the different products and tags that I've designed with my Cricut to go along with those products on the blog post so that you can take a look at them. And I hope maybe whether it's a gift that you're giving somebody or that if you do have a small business and you're selling things and you're making things and you have a Cricut, that maybe you can take some of these ideas and run with them. And my hope is that they bring your little crafting side business or side hustle to the next level, and that they make your little world a little better. So enjoy, and until our next adventure, take care.
That's all for this episode of Weekend Crafting Adventures. Now go get that Cricut machine off the shelf and get crafty. For more information on this crafting project, interesting tips, tricks, and techniques, visit WCApodcast.com. Until next time, when we embark on another adventure.